Welcome to each and every one of you. I am so honored to be with you today, and we are sending energy to all of our people that are going through suffering, pain, war, and disruption in their lives. And we send this energy to them all, as we hold them in our hearts and as we hold the light for what we can bring and what we can be. And we light this candle in honor of all of those folks that need it. And because we are honoring and celebrating LGBTQIA plus lives, we are putting a little rainbow origami crane on top of our wonderful origami heart. And we're going to fire up this candle and send our energy of love and healing and strength to everyone. And to ourselves, for those of us that are needing it, that are needing that support and healing right now. It is so important that we light this candle for each other, for our community, and for the world. We send our strength, we send our love, we send our healing, we send our peace, and we send our strength. Let us hold the world and let us hold each other in the ground of community. We send our love, we send our hope, we send our peace, and we send our light. May all be held in the loving arms of strength and hope and healing. Ooh, ooh. So just know, this candle is for all of us and for anyone around the world that needs it. And as we honor and celebrate our LGBTQIA community, may we know that we are talking about more than just pride. We're talking about how do we build community for each and every one of us and of people we know that are embracing these lifestyles and embracing really their own strength, their own willingness to be themselves, and their courage to express that in the world. And Corky and I, when we made up this title, More Than Pride, we wanted to bring about the awareness that the fullest pride includes several components. One of those is strength of conviction. Strength of conviction. How can we hold our strength of conviction? How can we be that person that we were most meant to be? Courage of expression is another dynamic. Courage of expression. How do we courageously express who we are? Because this is truly not just for our folks that are living lifestyles that we are supporting. This is for all of us. This is for all of us, my friends. Each and every one of us can be allies and advocates for ourselves and for each other, and be inspired to claim our own journey as humans. It has been a constant struggle for people to get their basic human rights. The keys to this is acceptance and celebration of who you are, and a mutual honoring of who each other is. That's the way we build strength and community. And so realizing that the last component of the fullest pride is deep humility. Now, it may seem to be a contradiction. What do I mean by having pride and humility? What we mean by that is the real fact that when we are humble, we actually are in our deepest strength, because we're not assuming we know everything, and we're not assuming that we understand the workings of the universe, but we are humbly and truthfully following our own path. And by doing that, we can become allies and advocates for each other as we do that mutual honoring. So this is so important. and we're going to be asking you some questions later today about what it means to be in the fullest pride, and when has that happened in your life. Now let's just take a look at, for a moment, the history of LGBTQIA. And let me tell you, my friends, that LGBTQIA plus represents lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex, asexual, plus. And the reason that we're stating that out is because there are many different ways that we might express ourselves, both in terms of our sexual orientation and also in our sexual preference, in terms of who we choose to love. And so there are two different areas, actually, that we are supporting and advocating for. And the history started, at least in the United States, and this is what I'm going to primarily be focusing on. I know there were things going on in other communities around the world, but I have my experience in the United States. So in 1924, and I found this out, Henry Gerber founded the Society for Human Rights in Chicago, the first known gay rights organization in the U.S. So remember that, 1924. That was quite bold at that time. In the 1950s, we had the development and the founding of the Matachine Society and the Daughters of Bilitis. Now, some of you might remember the Daughters of Bilitis, very old society. They both were formed advocating for gay rights and publishing newsletters. As a matter of fact, our own LGBTQ community center, our Billy DeFrank Center, actually has some of those old articles and newsletters. It's quite amazing in their archives. So it's incredible. And then we have to point out that in the 1960s, we have the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin, but did not include sexual orientation. That was still too difficult to get through. And I have to honor our wonderful leaders in the civil rights movement, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. There are many others that followed in his footsteps and also created their own civil rights actions. And there are too many to name at this, but they knew that they could not put it in that Civil Rights Act of 1964, or it probably would not have passed. Then in 1989, aside from the earthquake we had here in California, we had the Stonewall riots in New York City. And many of us thought they happened in San Francisco, but they happened in New York City. A series of spontaneous demonstrations by LGBTQ plus individuals against police raids that were happening. And it was considered a turning point in the gay rights movement. That point was just incredibly powerful. And then, of course, the first gay rights march was also held in New York City, and Harvey Milk was elected to the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. Now, why is this important? He was the first openly gay politician to embark on his political journey, being himself. So that was quite innovative at the time, and it was a turning point in the movement, really. It made it more mainstream. Okay. Then we have, of course, the AIDS epidemic, the AIDS pandemic, and many of you on this that are watching this Zoom were right beside me as we journeyed with and developed, healing for, at that time, a basically unknown disease. Our gay brothers were getting ill for no reason at all, and it was almost 100% fatal when it was first found, and much, discovery had to be done with that. But it was often the first time that lesbians actually got connected with gay men, because they were kind of doing their separate movements at that time. And what we found is that it was lesbian caregivers and healthcare providers that were working with our gay brothers as they were dealing with this unknown, horrific pandemic. So it brought us together and unified us in a beautiful way. And I can remember those old days in the 80s, and just we didn't know what was going to happen. We did not have a cure. We did not have any really meaningful, help in terms of medical help at that time. So it's now evolving, and I wear this AIDS bracelet, and you'll see it right here. Until there's a cure, I will wear this AIDS bracelet. It was given to me by a very special person, and I wear it all the time as an acknowledgement that many people in the gay community were really isolated and further alienated because of the pandemic, and the pandemic was blamed upon them. Then in the 1990s, Don't Ask, Don't Tell movement. Now what that was about is you could be an LGBTQ plus person, in the military, but guess what? You couldn't talk about it, and no one could ask you about it. So don't ask, don't tell. So as long as you hid the fact of your sexual orientation, you could be a part of the military. Now this is important because actually it was a big step for the military to say that, because people were literally getting court-martialed, and I know several friends of mine that actually went through a court-martial because of their sexual preference. So it did happen. So that did help us, even though it seems like not really helpful. It actually did help because people were not allowed to ask you. And then there were several things that happened that were striking down state sodomy laws that criminalized same-sex behavior, sexual activity. So that happened in 2003. Actually, the Supreme Court ruled in Lawrence versus Texas. Then in 2010, guess what? Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed, allowing LGBTQ plus folks to serve openly in the military. This was a huge step, serving openly in the military. And then, of course, we had in 2015, legalizing same-sex marriage nationwide, the Supreme Court ruled. And then we in California had a great deal of difficulty because we had a proposition that then took that freedom away from us, and then we received it and got it back, and now we have same-sex marriage in the state of California. But I have to say, I'm very proud of the Supreme Court in 2015 who ruled that legalizing same-sex marriage, because at the time we could be domestic partners and get a little bit of a break, but it wasn't the same as a marriage. Okay. So why do we bring these up? We can see the journey of the LGBTQ community, how it has moved forward, how it has had starts and stops to the movement, and how what the LGBTQ community can teach us is this very real thing. When we can become allies and advocates, we are also inspired to claim our own personhood, whatever that is. Our own personhood. What does that mean? Our own personhood. Okay? As the movement continues to evolve with ongoing efforts to receive and achieve full equality and ensure that all individuals are created and treated with dignity and respect. What that means is that we, in a real way, claim our own identity, whatever it is, and know that we can have support from the people around us. And here are some quotes that I want to offer from the LGBTQ community. No pride for some of us without liberation for all of us. That's a very unifying statement. Marsha P. Johnson said that. She was very much of an activist. No pride for some of us without liberation for all of us. And I believe that's the message that I want to deliver today. As we develop our own internal pride in our own selves, we can then become allies and advocates, and we can also bring other folks into it and create a wider community of acceptance and support and celebration. Here's another quote. We deserve to experience love fully, equally, without shame and without compromise. Without shame and without compromise. And that comes from Elliot Page. Elliot Page, who was a famous writer, for those of you that are not familiar. Who you are is beautiful and amazing. That comes from Luferne Cox. Who you are is beautiful and amazing. That is just such a simple and beautiful, elegant way to express it. It takes courage to grow up and become who you truly are. It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. That's from E. Cummings, most famous poet. And I think that's what we embody. And in our UCM community, in our CCL community, is we embody giving people courage to be truly who they are without fear of recompense or backlash. It's so important. And then Melissa Etheridge tells us, love is never wrong. Love is never wrong. Wherever we can find that, that's beautiful. And then lastly, we are all one, and if we don't know it, we will learn it the hard way. And that comes from an unknown person in the LGBTQAI community. But I love it. Love is never wrong, and we are all one. And if we don't know it, we will learn it the hard way when we try to separate out and just take care of ourselves. And so we invite you today. What are your stories of revelation when you have claimed space for your heart and soul? I want you to meditate on that, my friends. What are the stories of revelation where you have claimed space for your heart and soul? I want you to remember those and to claim those. Right? We want you to know those and claim those. It's so important. And your stories will then give us the opportunity to learn from and with each other and to remind ourselves that we can empower ourselves to be the best we can be. By being the best me, I can be the best we. And I thank you all for your loving support of all of our communities. And in this time, as we build our light together, may you know peace, love, healing, and wonderful support in your daily life. And may you claim all of your heart and soul and bring it to the world. Thank you. I just want to mention one more thing that as I was looking at my notes, I went over a couple of things that I missed. And the pivotal moment in the AIDS HIV crisis was the creation of the AIDS quilt. What that AIDS quilt did is it gave us a chance to honor our grief and our sadness and to honor our love and our memories that will never die by the building of this quilt, each panel dedicated to people who had died as a result of AIDS. And each person that participated in building that quilt and then bearing witness to that quilt as it went across the country and in the Washington Mall to be seen by all and to be borne witness to was a very important part of our LGBTQIA evolution. That quilt created a paradigm for other people to begin memorializing people who had died as a result of different conditions. It opened up the door for us to publicly honor our grief, our love, and our memories. So remember that. The quilt was a huge part of really making it mainstream and making it possible for people that maybe didn't know how to grieve or to honor their gay child or their gay parent. It gave them a chance to do that. So thank you all, my friends, and thank you for being that light in our community. Many of you here on this meeting have done quilts. We've done quilts together for very special people in our community. And so know that that keeps their memory alive. And our ancestors are here with us, helping in every way. Grateful again. Thank you. And be gentle with yourself, and may you go forward in your journey with love, abundance, and joy.
And after what, 43 years? After 43 years, we're still together. She can't get rid of me now. You know, should have did better a couple of years ago, but not now. I'm in it. But nonetheless, I just want you to know that it's, I could not imagine being with anyone else. I cannot even see that or even get that concept that, oh, I did something wrong. I never felt I was thinking or doing anything in my thoughts that was wrong. I just couldn't get it to figure out as a younger girl what was going on. I was supposed to be girl-boy stuff, but it wasn't there. I didn't have it. So I just wanted to share that it's been an interesting little journey for me. And, you know, that's it. I just wanted to share my life. So if you decide to put that in the book, let me know.
Absolutely.
I can give you some additional details. Okay.
So I mean, I don't really know. I never thought of it as courageous because I'll be honest, I was the most naive kid in the world. I just liked everybody and wanted everybody to be my friends. If we were playing baseball, I'd play baseball. If we were roller skating, I'd be out roller skating. I never knew what the word gay meant. I had no idea. And I'd hear somebody talk about being gay and I'd say, wow, so they're happy. How cool, you know, and never even thought about it. But, you know, as a teenager, I was like, okay, so I was a rebel. My rebellion was with pants. I always wanted to wear pants to school. I'd have to wear my dresses. So I was one of the kids that did do some protesting and helped, you know, bring about the Friday dress down day. I was also one of the, you know, kids that was one of the first ones to sit on the lawn on senior lawn day and stuff. But as I learned more about what being gay was and met more and more people in my life that were gay, all I could think to myself was, what's so different? I don't care what you do when you close your doors. It's not my business. Are you hurting me? No, you're not hurting me.
Yeah.
My brother came to me. It was hard for my mother, but my brother came to me and he said, I need to talk to you. And I said, okay. He said, do you know what gay is? And I was thinking, yeah, for the last few years or so, I've known what it is. And I said, yeah. He said, well, I just came out as gay and I've never been happier in my life. And all I could say to him was, it's about time. It's about time. So that was like the best moment for him to be accepted and loved immediately by me when he came out. So like I said, I don't know how much that's acts of courage or just the fact that I'm just some dumb, naive kid that just wants to love everybody and have people love me. So.
Well, I would say, Annie, that it's a little bit of both.
Thank you.
It's a little bit, your innocence is beautiful. Your innocence. And I just want everyone to be happy. Isn't that the most spiritual place to come from? I mean, absolutely, my friend.
That's where I was always at. It's like, oh, are you happy? Oh, good, cool.
Yeah.
You know, that was always what I wanted to be. And I still every once in a while joke with myself, oh, they're gay, they must be very happy. You know?
So Chris,
and look at how many people I'm blessed with in my life now. So
Chris, Miss Brown, thank you so much, Annie.
Thank you.
Chris.
Yeah. So I came out in 1980. And it was a world of separate. The men and the women absolutely didn't interact with each other at all. And then Janet mentioned about the AIDS, and the women came to help the men, and that changed things, but it was still kind of on a political thing. And much later in 95, I met my now wife, and she loves men. She likes me too, but she loves men. And through her, she taught me how to love the heart of a man. And for me, that was It's not that I didn't want to, but I absolutely didn't know how. I had never been shown how, except in 1978, I had married my husband, whom I loved deeply, and he's a wonderful guy. And he came out in 1980, and I did 2 weeks later. So there's a story behind that. I think we were made for each other. And what I want to say is 4 days ago, I emailed him and I said, happy 47th. We are family. We stay in touch. We share some of the most intimate things. And the person he was 47 years ago, he still is. So my chooser was good. And then I had to deal with plumbing. But these days, my favorite thing to do is simply to be able to come from the heart. And I believe gender matters. My experience says gender matters. And it can also be all-inclusive.
Yes.
So holding the tension between gender and then the diffusion of gender into allness, holding that simultaneously is where I like to live. Beautifully
said. And it just goes to that purity that Annie was talking about earlier. You know, that purity of love. Let's let it flow, and to be the complex individuals we are. And I love the way, Chris, that you just wove into that experience with your former husband, and how that the universe worked it for you, didn't it? It's beautiful. I think that's what the message of this entire talk is. It's like, how can we claim all of who we are? And how can we claim our ability to advocate for other people that are having a hard time claiming who they are? Because I believe once I'm able to claim who I am fully, then I'm able to do what? Some of my best friends are men. You know, I mean, I do not want to, alienate anybody, because of, what I am expressing in my life. I want it to be all of us being able to express it together and being able to support each other wherever we are on our journey, wherever you are. And for many of you, you probably know that I'm kind of more feminine, in characteristics than masculine. And so I just want to say I had a difficult time in the lesbian community because I wasn't butch enough. I was, and so I got some criticism for that, and, I had to deal with that. And I actually had one relationship where she said, you got to toughen up, Janet. You can't.
How about it?
But I am what I am, right? And, all of you who know me and lovingly accept me, which is everybody in this room, because you're just that beautiful, it just is that moment where we can. And what I'd love to do, if it's all right with you, is I'd like to just sing a song and let's see what comes out of my mouth. Does that work for you?
Sure.
Yes.
Then we want to leave time for Sean to do a song too. But you go
No,
ahead.
he's not going to do
Well,
a
I'm not
song.
going to sing.
Oh, he's not going to sing.
Yeah.
So you get to do it. Go, 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 go.
Let's see if I can get this guitar on my lap. So I just invite you to go to your heart. Just go to your heart. With every breath, just feel yourself. You are the heart of the universe. You are the heart of each other. And you are the heart of our community. And just as you close your eyes, just feel and know that. You are the heart, and we need you. Dreaming, living, hoping, being. Living, loving, reaching out to the world. We are not alone. is held in the heart like a flame of the candle, holding us near and holding us close. We are free. We can be me, you and me, free. And every time, every moment, we can be all that we are in a world that needs our unique light. We can shine, and we shine bright. Oh, we shine bright. Oh, we are our own light, and we join with a million candles, a million souls, dancing, dreaming, loving, being. We are ourselves, and we are our own heart, and we let it shine, 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 shine. Thank you.
Wonderful, Jen. Thank you. Yeah. Awesome.
I'd like to say something.
Okay, Joan, you get to speak.
In meditation, I was directed to spend at least an hour a day listening to music. So I don't always do that, but I have increased my music listening time over the last year or so. But one of the things that we did was sign up for the symphony, my daughter and I, and we have totally enjoyed going to the symphony. And I've written a couple of articles in the last CCL newsletter about my experience. They do not focus on the 3 Bs of Bach, Beethoven, and Brahms. They pick out rather revolutionary or unusual composers. And I think it's October 5th, John Nakamoto, a world-renowned local pianist, will be performing. And if you have an urge to see something fantastic in the music world, I urge you to buy tickets and join me in that, going to that concert. But if you don't do that, try picking some kind of music to tune into. And one of the things that I've thought about doing, but I'm going to really do, is listen to Janet's music and record it on my phone so that I have access to it, because her songs are so incredibly beautiful and so helpful. But I'm urging you to share, to explore music a little bit and share your experience with that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I just want to underline what Joan is saying. He is absolutely magnificent, this pianist. And actually, my sister, Sheila, knows him, has known him for many years. He's a cousin.
Really? Us.
And he is fantastic. I've been to several of his concerts. They're amazing.
He's doing theme from a Paganini or something. I downloaded it, and it's a lot of piano, I'll tell you that.
Good.
Awesome. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
And today is the Psychic Fair, and I'm going to be talking about how to increase your luck factor through meditation. I urge you to come and share your lucky stories. because they want me to talk for an hour, and I never talk for an hour, so I need your help. And Marie will be there doing sound healing. Christine St. Clair will be doing tarot. Ruth will be doing tarot. I'll be doing past lives. So a lot of activity going on at the psychic fair. And it starts at 11.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And so I'll look forward to seeing you there. Please come up and say hello to us when you come.
And I have to thank, if I can say one more thing, I have to thank from the bottom of my heart this entire community, particularly my wonderful Corky Whitaker.
Oh,
We had found a kitten that was meowing underneath our shed. And we were able to save that kitten, but our cat was going to kill the kitten. And she put out the most beautiful Facebook post, and we were going around everywhere to see where we could foster this kitten so that, you know, it was a baby kitten. And Christine St. Clair saw Corky's post, and she said, I will take the kitten.
yay!
Christine and Bryce have the kitten. And I just have to share the story because it fits in with what we've been talking about. You know what? That kitten meowed, meowed, and meowed tirelessly until we found her. She asked for help. She wasn't afraid to ask for help. She let me pick her up, and we fed her, and we got her help, and we got her immediate support. She asked for help, and so I'm saying meow when you need to.
Right.
Because she put in a whole course of events in her life, in her little life, where she didn't have to die underneath the shed.
And
She got to be with a wonderful family. And any of you that have seen Christine online will say that, oh my God, you know, it's incredible. And thank you, Sky. Have an awesome gay day today. I love it. Thank you. I just saw that. But I have to say, please be yourself and ask for help. You know, meow, meow.
in spite of the fact that there was somebody there that was ready to kill her at any moment.
Oh, yeah.
Poor little thing.
Now, do we have the address for the fair?
Yeah. But we're there. I have to. My stuff is over there. Oh, and I threw all my papers away that were old. It's on the table. You could. There's a whole stack of CCL insights there.
Okay. And we'll give you the address for the psychic fair.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, and your article is that I'm handing those out at the fair, and your article is in there.
Yeah.
I printed it out.
And we want to do the basket.
Oh, yes. Okay, so it's at the South Side Community Center, 5585 Cottle Road Auditorium.
one more time, what is it?
It's South Side Community Center, 5585 Cottle Road Auditorium.
And it's in the CCL Insight, so look in your email, people.
Yeah, look at me, your email on CCL Insights. Okay, it's time to pass the basket. Mel, hi there. And so if you could.
I'm sorry. Can I bring something up about meowing?
Okay. Right now, we're going to bless the basket. And for everybody who puts money in, you are blessed. And thank you so much.
And remember that regular giving creates regular receiving.
Right.
So if you need to receive more money and funds coming to you, set up a regular giving program.
Right. Thank you so very much. And Mel, hello, how are you?
Cool. I've already been to the pool and now I'm back listening to everybody here.
Oh, good. How is it nice and warm where you live?
It's not bad. Yesterday was actually almost cool.
Oh my God.
Yeah, except for yesterday.
Okay.
On the meowing subject, speaking of rescuing and fostering and stuff like that, Patty Ray's cats are still being boarded. And she, as far as I understand, is willing to let them be adopted or fostered by someone. If anybody knows someone who would be interested in.
Well, her cat, I thought her cat was, she was the only one that could pet it.
One of them. But it becomes whoever's taking care of it. So the lady that's boarding them now is basically the only one that she'll go to at the moment. She won't go to Patty. So it's
Okay. Well, I want to thank you all for being here.
Okay,
today.
thank you, Chef. Thank you, Mel.
Thank you, Mel. And I want you to know that this has been a beautiful day. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Janet. You were wonderful. Goodbye to everybody.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody. Thank
Bye.
you. Ciao for now.
Bye now.
Good day.